want to make $600,000 a day. So I need to get to where that $600,000 a day is. None of my children, mama, none of y'all did. I don't want that phone call.
No. I grew up in LA. We were dealing with police brutality all the time. And it was not televised. Hey, welcome back to Keeping It 100 with Money and Mika. Of course, I'm Mika.
I'm Money.
So this is our third episode, and this time we're talking about relationships.
All different types of relationships.
Right. You got friendship,
family,
intimate,
child and parent relationships.
You know, that mama's boy.
And daddy girls.
Yeah. Or vice versa, because, you know, nowadays it's not just, you know, it's mama's girl, or in my case, mama baby. So, you know.
Daddy little men.
So there you go. So yeah, that's what we're talking about today. We do have some special guests. We got Nicole, and we also got Gwen Johnson. Nicole, she, in my opinion, she kind of, you know, she got some good insight, you know, in general. So, and Miss Gwen Johnson, she's been married for over 30 years. I know that for a fact because that's my cousin, and he know how Nicole is because
that's my sister.
So there you go. As he said, his pretty little sister.
Yeah, my pretty little sister.
So yes, enjoy. Make sure you subscribe, you know, to our YouTube channel, Keeping It 100 with Money and Mika. Follow our Instagram as well. So, what you got to say about this one?
Oh, I'm ready for this family talk. You know, I got the best of both worlds. I got this family, and I got this family, and I got my own family. You feel?
There you go. So, and we got the friendship side as well. So, we got it all the way around.
I don't deal with too many friends.
I got some. I got a few. You know,
I got a few.
You got to be selective with those, you know, because you can't call everybody friends, and
right.
You can't call everybody. Well, some family, you know.
Can't call family.
You know, so there it is.
I just don't call
them. But they call you sometimes.
Yeah. Ignore.
Sure you do. And they get mad at me when I answer. When they call me and answer.
Why they looking for me?
Yeah. So of course I'm always saying, well, did you call him? So yeah. But now I'm just gonna personally say I do like the concept of relationships this time, just because people are always asking us about our relationship, you know, how we do it and everything, you know. And then I always get calls from friends, and they have, you know, concerns and questions as well. So we gonna dive into it all of it today. You know, I'm really
for the nosy people. Here you go.
There you go. I came with you sometimes, but yeah. So let's get started just a little bit. What, in your opinion, is a relationship?
Two people join together. You know, some might be mutual feelings, you know, agree. You know, you gotta disagree and agree. So to build a better relationship, everybody needs to start off as friends. Like we did, you know what I'm saying? Everybody thought we rushed into it. They didn't know we had known each other for a while. Mm-hmm. So when they popped up on the scene, everybody like, who is this? And you know, my family was like, where were you? Nah, just be quiet, let me handle my business.
Yeah, that's a whole other story. We could get deep up in there.
Yeah, I got my hat took. Me and you went for a walk. My mother-in-law, you know, that's her baby, so she didn't know who I was. She didn't know. She went outside and took my hat.
She like, where did they go? And she told me, she said, well, if anything, I got his DNA in his hat. So yeah, these relationships, they a little crazy sometimes. Yeah. You know, good thing you not no mama's boy.
Nah, can't be that.
But you was a grandma's boy.
I mean, yeah, but I won't say I wasn't a mama's boy, cause my mom did. I still call my mom to this day about certain situations. So.
But I think that's because of how you was raised as well. You know, it's not nothing wrong with being a mama's boy. You know, because that's why now I think you call your aunties and everybody. You call everybody and check up on them. You just hung up with one of your aunties.
I mean, I gotta check on them so they won't call me all day. I gotta make sure they all right, so, you know.
You do your part, so.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. No problem. Well, I'm going to say stay tuned, because we're going to take a quick little break, but stay tuned, and when we come back, we're going to get into it.
We're going to dive straight into the sea. Let's go.
All right.
Hi, I'm Joy Douglas, the host of Gifts of Joy Talk Show here on e-linetv.com with Elon Media and Productions. So excited. I told you guys at the end of last season, season 3 of Gifts of Joy Talk Show, that I would be going on tour. The time is now, you guys. The time is now. I'll be starting the tour at the end of July. The dates will be posted, so you will have an opportunity to come and join with me on the Manifesting Your Truth tour. I am so looking forward to this tour. It's such an opportunity, such an humble position to be in, to be able to share my truth, but be able to get you to open up to share your truth as well. So I'm looking forward to it. Come and join me on the Manifesting Your Truth tour.
Hey. So we're going to jump right into it today. So where we starting with friendships?
I think so, because any relationship starts with friendship,
Right.
you know.
Except for family.
And I mean, except for like your work relationship, that's
Right.
just a little bit different as well, because you don't have to necessarily be friends, but you do have to know those boundaries, just like friendship, you know.
Yeah.
And I think in friendship, just a normal friendship, the main thing with those is for one, being honest, you know, being yourself, you know, because in friendships, I've had friendships in the past that really weren't friendships, you know. They were lying, you know, stealing from me, you know, just all kind of crazy things. And I mean, even from growing up, you know, your parents say, no, that friend ain't good for you. You know, mama, you know, when they say, no, I don't like that friend, that's not your friend. And we don't listen, you know what I mean? But it's because they done went through it and they done seen it. Because now I'm like, no, that friend, watch him, you know. So, but the first thing is being honest with each other in any type of friendship, you know.
Right. Well, I got a few homies. I call them my brothers, cause you know what I'm saying. Them the ones I've been rocking with for years.
Them friends of family.
Yeah, everybody else, they're my brother. Everybody else, they just associates. That's how I deal.
Right, because those friends, you've built a relationship with them of honesty, where they know who you are. You know how, you know what I'm saying. It's no hiding. It's no faking it. You know.
But see, it's kind of hard being friends with me, cause I keep it 100. I call you
all
out.
the time.
I call you out. If you're doing something wrong, I'm gonna call you out.
I mean, but that's a real friend, though. You know, but and your friends know that's how you are, so they also know how to take you.
Right.
You know, everybody else, because some people, they'll think that, you know, well, I even say it sometimes too, he's a real asshole.
Oh, I am. I'm not gonna tell you I'm not, but I'm gonna call you out.
Yeah, I mean, but he also keep it 100 though. You know what I'm saying, all the time. Right. So I give it to him on that. And his friends that, you know, those friends that we say that became family, those friends, they really know him. Yeah. And he can cuss them out, and they like, oh, I know that nigga. You know.
Ham to be exact.
You know what I'm saying? Shoot, Paul. You know, you
see, them my brothers.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
what I'm
how
saying.
we deal with each other.
D-Rock.
D-Rock. How we deal with each other is how we deal with each other. Cause I be having, me growing up, the only friend I have was my little sister. Everybody else, I just dealt with them folks. I can talk to her. I can talk to my mom and dad. That was my best friend growing up, my little sister. So,
right. See, I didn't have that.
Now I still call her. She'll cuss me out, but you know, that's my little sister.
Yeah, see, I didn't really have that because with my brother, the one that I was raised in the house with, he's 10 years older. So, you know, of course, my little problems and stuff, he's 20 and I'm 10. You know, that's a big deal. He don't want to hear about me, you know. So, and then, of course, he went to college and everything as well. So I had to go to those friends that were like family. You know, everyone else had family around because, you know, we moved from New York to Los Angeles when I was 3. Right. So I didn't have a lot of family around, you know, except for my cousin Gwen that's here today, you know. And now as far as relationships, I got a great, strong understanding from them, you know,
Right.
from her and her marriage, you know. But other than that, I didn't have family around like that, so I had to go to friends, and my friends became my family.
Right. But see, me, I had family.
Shout out Lupe, Starla, Tona, you know.
I had family. I had my three. Me growing up, I had my closest people that were close to, like I say, my little sister and my three cousins, Troy, Lance, and Jason. But we weren't raised up like, cause we raised up like
Right.
brothers still to this day.
Right.
Like I say, everybody else was irrelevant, even though we had family here. Cause I got sisters, and I like to this day I don't even talk to all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And we
I
got
got
to
brothers.
stop that.
I got a little brother and a big brother. Guess what? I don't talk to him like that, and that's on my, the other side, my real mom side.
Right. So I mean, what kind of things that I'm gonna say, because just in talking about those type of relationships and family relationships, what type of things, in your opinion, like I said, because I didn't have family around, so I didn't have the family disagreements and stuff. They didn't know me, so you know what I mean. If they don't like me, you don't like yourself because you don't even know me. I left when I was 3, so what you don't like about me?
With us, we all grew up close. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, my little sister, my 3 cousins. That's the main folks. I didn't go spend the night with other people. Now I'm going to my Uncle Michael's house and be with my cousin. When they come over, they come to my house. That's how we rock.
I feel that. So, okay, so that's the friends to family. We're going to talk about finally and getting intimate, just like in our relationship, when you start off as friends and then, that friendship grows into an intimate relationship.
Like relationship like a flower, you gotta plant the seed in there. It takes time. Everybody can't just jump into a relationship. It takes steps to become, because you gotta get to know that person.
Right.
Well, first of all, you gotta get to know yourself before you even try to be somebody's friend. Because if you don't know yourself,
there you go.
how you gonna be a friend of this person? You ain't gonna do nothing but lie. Yeah. Don't lie to me.
Because you don't know yourself.
Right.
You don't know what you like. So yes, that's definitely in a intimate relationship. Before you try to get, and I think in any relationship, friendship as well, know yourself. Get to know you first, what you like, what you don't like, so then bring something to the table. Even in a friendship, this is who I am, because even in a friendship, like we say, business relationship as well, because a marriage is a business, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that even though in those type of relationships, like we say, you still have to have boundaries. You know what I'm saying? You still have to have that communication, the trust, the honesty, even though, as a child, things like we look at like, oh, that's nothing. Okay, here you go, that trust and honesty thing again, but it's true.
Trust in relationship and friendship go along with it. Because I was just in a situation. One of my supposed to be homeboys hit my car. And dude didn't even tell me.
Right.
You just gonna walk off and then I'm chilling with you the same night, the next day.
Yeah. That's not a friend.
That ain't a friend. That's just.
That's not a friend.
That's a.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a friend. So, like we say, and even when it gets to those relationships, the intimate relationships, like we said, we have different types. Because now, before it wasn't talked about and everyone was so ashamed, same sex, and after talking to other people, I realized parents, we need to definitely keep, an eye on our children, no matter what age, and no matter if they hanging out with they, their little girlfriend, they female friend, girls and girls, because a lot of people that I've known, they said they was doing that a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? They was doing that when they were children. And so now it's like we have to, and I wasn't thinking, you know what I'm saying, that we got to really look at them like that. But because, okay, that's your friend. We want our children to have a little friend.
With that, I don't know. Whatever they like, I like. As long as, you know what I'm saying? As long as that's what make you happy as a person. That's how you deal with it.
Right. And it's just be honest with yourself again.
Right.
Then, of course, within them intimate relationships, we got the good and the bad, because I've dealt with domestic violence. And of course the cheating and all that type of stuff as well. I know we both had our fair share of cheating as well.
Yeah, I did.
But just to touch on, those, we don't like to talk about that a lot, but the domestic violence, I'm just gonna hit on that because I'm gonna go through that real quick. You know, that right there I dealt with, and that is real. And there is a such thing as women being scared, you know, terrified, and that's why they stay in that relationship. Now, shout out to my pops because I ain't got that blood in me. You know, you know, I'm like pimping. Nah, you put your hands on me, it's time to go. Shout out to my mama too, cause she like, nah, you ain't finna see this. You know, so.
I think Joanne got a quick little right punch. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, she'll hit you with the car too. So, look,
little car run, duck and run. Let's go, bro. Let's duck and run.
Look, my mama done did some stuff. Look, so with the cheating and all that. So, you know, but I thank God that, you know, I didn't have to deal with that and see that where I became a victim. Right, you know, because I'm being honest with you. Before I got married, well, first off, before I got married, my children's father tried to kill me in my sleep. Because I said I didn't want to be with him no more. Like, really? Who does that? You know, I've had other situations.
That was a weak individual. Because I'm going to tell you now, if you say today, baby, it's over. Bye. I'm like,
we say, look, I think we break up twice a month.
Yeah.
You know? Like, look, I'm done. Okay.
I don't go sleep on no sofa.
No, look, we just break up for about 2 minutes. That's it. That's it. Then it's back to normal. Yeah. You know, because you have to understand.
Again, we break up when that's a friendship break. We'll never get a divorce.
So, you know, but you have to, like, we know our boundaries. Yeah. You know what's gonna tick me off, and you know, and you'll get there, but then you'll reel it back on in because it's like, okay, yeah, I ain't dealing with that one. You know, because I don't know who you think I am.
Sometimes you know how I deal with that. My dad and you know the elder folks all around, they say, just listen to your wife. So that's what I do. I just listen to my wife. Sometimes you might be wrong. Guess what? I'd rather her be wrong than me go do something be wrong. So
you're right, because then it's gonna be a whole other problem.
Right.
You're right. Now that other side that we didn't want to talk about too much is that cheating side. Like I said. And I just want to get this out here before we end up having to take another break real quick and bring our guests out.
We're not talking about us cheating.
Right. No. We gathered too much. But when you did, what made you cheat? Because people always think, and this for you ladies.
I'm going to tell the truth.
What made you cheat? Because as women, we always look at ourselves and say, what did I do? I wasn't this. What made you cheat?
Okay.
Was it her? You know, and
my last relationship before I got married, it was the alcohol. I don't like dealing with all that drunk stuff, and then you get drunk and want to hit on. Nah, bro, not no punching bag. You feel me? Drunk and all that nagging, I don't like all that.
In other bases, what made you cheat?
Lies. When I first met you, you was this person. Then 2 weeks later, you was that person.
See, that's why you got to know people a little bit longer. See, I always say before you get into an intimate relationship, be friends for at least a year. So then that way you can see them go through, they're happy, they're mad, they're sad. You know, they done had a death in the family and all that. So you can see those different emotions and how he's going to react or how she's going to react. You can only fake the funk for so long. You can, you know, I can act like I'm this and that. You know, I'm perfect. You know, I cook for you all the time. I do this and that. I can act like that for a week or two, maybe even a month. But I can't act like that for a year because by then it became me. You know what I mean? Right. So, hey, let's just keep it 100 with ourselves and within that relationship.
Right. So, well, we're going to take a quick little break and we will be right back.
With our special guest. Welcome back. We got our guests here. I'm going to let everybody introduce yourself, and you can also give them, you know, I know you got social media, so you can give them your handle if you want them to follow you as well.
Okay, I'm Stephanie Nicole. On Instagram, Pretty Girls Do Pretty Things. Also, IUE Candles, Illuminative Urban Expressions, and
There you go.
that's one of my candles. Mr. Legendary.
Oh. And then we got you down there.
Hi, I'm Gwen Johnson. I'm a retiree, so I'm learning how to love me.
That's right. That's right.
That's the best love.
I know.
Okay.
It's getting
Self-love.
Nice.
Self-love is the best
Yeah.
love.
Listen, so you perfect right where you need to be as well, because you getting back to you.
Yes.
See, because now I said earlier, you were married over
44 years.
44 years.
We're going to get that, baby. We're going to get that. Don't worry.
Okay.
And I raised 2 children and had a husband, so I've done all that. Been there, done that.
Now it's about you.
That's right. It's my
That's
turn.
No, that's right. You go, girl.
That's right.
That's right.
How Gwen get her groove back.
It's still looking good, huh?
Right, exactly.
Say, what's wrong with me? Look, that's right.
That's
So,
right.
With you being married for 44 years, how did you make that work? How were you able to wake up to the same person every day, no matter even when you got mad with him? You know, I mean, because I know 44 years.
Yeah. Cause
I'm not even 44 years old.
I got married when I was 23, so this learning me is all new.
Mm-hmm.
How I did it, it wasn't me that did it. It was the Lord Jesus Christ. I couldn't have done it.
That's right.
And it started early on. We had been married 2 years when we both got saved. But how many times did I divorce? Like you guys were talking about? Divorced many, many times. Just never left the house, you know.
Right.
But you do divorce. And it's
Right.
okay, you know. Don't sweat the small stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can do it. Most people get married to divorce. But you're supposed to get married till death do you part. Not till you piss me off, do I part. So you just hang in there and you do what you have to do in order to sustain that marriage. Because you got to understand, you're leaving a history. You're leaving a heritage for your children. Your children are watching you. Well, daddy and mom divorced, so why can't I divorce?
Right.
So you want them to understand that divorce is for life. And some people say, no, it's not for life. You know, well, what if they stress me out? So what? Your job stress you out, you don't leave that.
Right.
Your mama stress you out, you don't leave her. So, I mean, you have to work at it. It takes work. Marriage is not for punks. It's not.
That's right. That's right. So everybody rushing out here to get married just to carry his name, or some of them just trying to keep a man, or just to be married to have that title. That's not what you want. That's not what you want.
I think in our generation today, the word divorce is thrown around just so loosely.
Yes.
Because in our generation, a lot of us didn't grow up in the same parent home, so they didn't see that, and some of the values aren't the same as some of our parents that are married for 30, 40 plus years. So in today's society, it's like, okay, well, next.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
well, he did this, or was she not doing this?
Right.
Next. The values aren't the same. And then that goes back to setting the foundation in a relationship, beginning with friendship, and like you said, knowing who you are and knowing what you want and your expectations before you actually come together. And when you know who you are and you know the things that you want, you know what you won't accept, and you won't get yourself into a relationship in the beginning if you don't know that person, or you don't know yourself and you don't know, okay, well, I'm not going to accept this. And I feel like if a person feels as though they can do anything, manipulate you or tell you anything, and you go with it, that's set up to fail in the beginning anyway.
Right.
And I like that how you say that people just throw out that word divorce so easily. And because I know in the beginning of my marriage, I'm like, no, we're not even going to say that. We're not even going to play around and even say that, because once you say that, is you know how they say you speak it into existence.
Right.
So you're expecting that. Now you're even allowing that. So I'm like, no, we're not even gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? We just break up for today. That's all. You know, we back together in a few minutes. You know.
Again, I just go sit over there and play the game.
And like you said, putting in the work.
Yeah.
That goes a long way, because when you get into these relationships, a lot of people aren't ready to put in the work, because in your vows it tells you what you're going to go through.
Right.
For better, worse, health, sickness. God gives you the whole
Riches
list.
or poor.
Rich or poor. So it's not going to be perfect. Now, however, there are relationships that you do have to get out of, and you have to love people from afar if they're being, domestic violence or something like that. Or if it's a continuous situation in the cheating where it's coming back to your home and it's causing some type of issues, whether it's your health or, some type of danger. Yes, you have to get out of situations like that. But there are things that you can work through in a relationship. You just have to, like we said, you have to be willing to do the work. It's just like a business. If you're going to invest in your business and you want your business to grow, it's going to be moments in your business where it's downtime. You don't see the money coming in, or you don't know how things are going to, work. And it's the same thing with the marriage, but you have to know you have to keep putting in that effort and have that faith that God is going to bring it all together in the end.
And I also learned that, because in the Bible it said that you have to be equally yoked, and that's something that's true, because even like people would look at us and it's like, we're totally different, but he compliments me,
And she compliment me.
So, and actually we make each other better as well. People don't even realize a lot of things that he do, even within my business, to help, and to even keep my mind going and to be changing. And, so for one, I also think, like you say, you have to have that commitment. You have to want to, you have to want it. You have to both want it. Not one just saying I want it, and the other one like, yeah, I'm going to say this because this is what you want to hear, or what he want to hear. You both have to want it, and like they all saying, you have to work towards it. You have to know who you are and what you're willing to deal with. I don't never tell nobody to leave anyone. Like unless you say it's domestic violence or something like that. No, I'm gone. You ain't gonna put your hands on me. I'm not your child. If you love me, you're not gonna hit me. I hit you because I love. No, my mama did that growing up. I'm not going through that as no child. You're not gonna give me a black eye and talk about I love you. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. And then next time it's my lip.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like I don't agree with that, but even still, and that I always tell people, do what's best for you.
Exactly.
Do what's best for you. Whatever, because if you choose to leave this person, man, woman, or whatever, that's your decision, and you have to live with it, not me. So I can't tell you to leave. I just do what's best for you.
Right. And we have to get out of the thinking that, okay, a relationship is 50-50. People don't, and I wish we could just do away with that saying, because granted, yes, we wanted it to be 50-50, but to be realistic, it's not always 50-50. Somebody in the relationship is always going to at some point give more, depending on the situation. I may at some point give 40. You may give 50 or 60, vice versa, depending on what that person is going through. Right. As long as we can bring it all together, all that 50-50 crap, it doesn't always add up.
You gotta have, I always say when it comes, you have to be whole yourself. Right. You know how they say two halves make a whole? No, I gotta be whole myself so that I can join you and we can be whole together.
Right, exactly.
And that goes for all relationships, friendships, intimate, family relationships, all that. We have to be whole together. We have to, and we all have to want it. So that's the main thing. That especially that I'm getting from you down there. That with 44 years. Oh,
well, Jesus. You have to think about any relationship. It takes work, because people think it's just in marriage, but even with your children, with your siblings, with your relatives, even with your best friends, it takes work. And you know, if you want a relationship, you have to work at it, you know, and just like she was just saying, you know, every time it may not be 50-50, you know, hey, my friend might be down this month, you know, I might have to carry him, you know, are you willing, is that the kind of friendship that you want? Because when you're down, you want somebody to carry you.
Exactly.
And if you're not married, then you're going to have to rely on your friends or your family, you know. So any type of relationship takes work. And I think we as a society do not want to put in the work. We don't want to put the work in. Long as you feed my ego, you know, and stroking me, you know, that's fine. But when you be real with me, 100, then it's like, oh, wait a minute, this ain't my friend. Well, yes, I am your friend because I want to tell you the truth. You know, so relationships always take work, but we don't want to work it.
Yeah, some people can't handle it. And I just feel like also even with friendships or relationships, just be honest, it needs to be beneficial on both sides. In a friendship, like we said, it's a take and give situation. I can't be a friend with someone, and not saying materialistic that they have to give me money, but if I'm not gaining anything from you, what
we should be gaining from each other.
We should be gaining from each other, like whether it's my credit is good and my friend credit may not be good. If I can give my friend pointers on how to build your credit back up, that's a beneficial relationship. She may be, you know, better at, you know, some other type of advice that I may need. It's a give and take, and that's brother and sister relationship.
If y'all credit messed up, you know, just give us a call. we fix credit.
Right. We will. We get you right.
I want to thank y'all for coming on, and we're gonna take a quick.
Y'all back. I like that.
44 years, you coming back. I got you. We're gonna take a quick break. I might have a surprise guest coming back with me, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the Keeping It 100 with Money and Mika. And like I said, I had another guest to come on, you know, yours truly, my mother-in-law, the famous Joanne Jones.
That made JJ's junkie juice.
Yeah, wish I had some now.
She told me I would have brought it, baby. So, well, I'm glad to have you here. As you know, his mother-in-law, my mom. I know you were able to listen in a little bit on what we discussed a little bit. Do you have anything else to say as far as, because I know this right here, this is a different dynamic that a lot of people deal with as well, as far as the family dynamics of it in the relationship, because I've been with you my whole life. And I know once I did get married, because definitely, like in our situation, like I said, I went through domestic violence. And of course, that changed me, but then it also changed people around me because it affected them as well.
Right.
And so I had to realize that as well, that even though it was me that went through that, my mom was right there with me. My children were right there with me. So it affected them as well. I'm just on that side of being a mom and having your child go through domestic violence, deal with, and I'm not just saying now on my own, but deal with a cheating maid, or someone that you feel is,
Again, she's not talking about right now. If she was talking about right now, I wouldn't be sitting in between these
right. Two. So, but as a mom, someone on the outside looking in at someone that you do love, and in this case that you actually birthed and carried, how does that affect you? You know, because like I said, people that actually deal with it, sometimes we don't realize how it affects people around us. You know, so how did that affect you?
Well, see, I was in an abusive marriage, but it was for the fact that my ex was in the military, so I was being very understanding to what he was going through. The domestic violence that I had, it wasn't really geared at me because he was going through a shell shock thing. So I was being very understanding of what he was going through. Because it was nothing like, you know, him hitting me in my face and nothing like that. It was me dealing with what he went through the military, me being understanding. And then when I couldn't take it, I would say like I'm gonna leave. And then he would attack me from behind because he didn't want me to go. So it wasn't like that, you know, he's beating on me and all of that stuff. He was tearing up things in the house. Well, I had, you know, your brother, he was in our life then. Once I got pregnant and I had you, I said it was gonna be no violence, no signs of any of that. I didn't want him to go through talking about tearing up things in the house, and that's what he would do. He would sit up there and tear up stuff in the house, and we have to replace it. So you know, that's why even like today, it's like I'll buy a TV one time. If we tear it up, hey, that's it. I try to change it. I'm not sitting up there buying the same thing over and over again, letting you tear it up. So see, like I said, you don't know, you didn't see any violence or anything like from your dad. But like in my marriage, I was a Christian, and I prayed for my husband to be a husband and a dad and, you know, the father and a friend. In the beginning, we went on walks. It was, you know, very intimate. He was my best friend. But see, then, you know, like I said, dealing with him and his shell shock and that Agent Orange and all of that, that's what I went through. So like I said, once you was born, I said, I didn't want you to see any of that, which you didn't. You don't, as a matter of fact, you don't know anything about that. And of course, I didn't want no man beating on you. I wasn't going for that.
I didn't go through like, you know, with a guy just beating on me or anything like that. I went through, like, again, just like with you, you know, I'm finna leave, and then I was actually asleep. I was dead asleep, was pregnant, with my twins laying in the bed next to me, and this man stabbed me in my back and tried to kill me, choked me, all that, diabetes, all that stuff, you know, because I said I wanted to leave him. Which in my mind, like, oh my God, we could have worked this out. It ain't that serious, you know. But at the same time, it's like, well, I can't be with you now. You know, it's like, well, it's over. You know, and of course, drugs had a part to do with that. Yes. You know, but I couldn't allow it and say no, because you can still go out and use drugs again. Now you just hide it from me. You know, and so I couldn't put myself in that position again. And like you said, I didn't want my children. Well, in the midst of it, this man was choking me, saying, "Die, bitch, die." And in the midst of it, you know, I'm not religious, but I am spiritual, and, you know, and I am filled with the Holy Spirit. I do know that for a fact. Yes. And when he choked me, saying, "Die, bitch, die," the Spirit came to me and said, "Give him what he wants." Like clearly, give him what he wants. And it was like I had a quick thing of my baby's over here in the bed, over in this other room, right next to me, sleep. These right here covered in my blood, and I'm carrying another one. And it was like just that quick. I'm not finna die by the hands of you. So I played dead, and I had to be real dramatic with it, you know. But that's what saved my life at that time, you know. But that was my first time ever dealing with that, you know. I had guys that, you know, after that, that, you know, while I start trying to date a little bit, you know, and I think that once I told them that had happened, then I think they thought they could try me. Because then, you know, I had another guy like come in and he wanted to, like you say, start breaking stuff. Hold up, you ain't buy this. What are you doing breaking up my stuff? And then you go leave and go to the next bitch house. So I'm gonna say this just for my own thing. Please, guys, when a girl wanna leave, let her go. It is not that serious. You'll probably have a better chance of getting it back.
I'm gonna do like my mom, Joanne. I'm gonna help you pack.
But you know what? Let's back up a little bit. You know that I did say that because it's like now I was always praying, like I said, for my husband to be a husband and a dad and all of that. But the Lord is not going to go against a person's will.
Mm-hmm.
So, this day when that had happened, I had went and talked to a female friend who was a pastor. I've always talked about my marriage, But that day, I said, you know what, Lord? Let his will be done. Because I was the one that was praying for him to be
Look
there.
how quick that happened. Watch what you say. Watch
you
what
have
you
to
ask
watch
for.
what you say. But I had said, Lord, I've been praying for him to be a husband, to be a dad, to be a friend. But let his will be done.
He wasn't ready.
So when I came back to the house, he was like, hey, I'm gone.
Did you fold the clothes or just throw
No,
them in there?
he had done them. But I don't want nobody that don't want me.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't want to be there, hey. So when I, like I said, I had left, went and talked to a friend, and came back to the house, and he was all packed and said, well, I'm going to dinner. So I said, well, want me to help you pack? Because I don't want nobody. If you don't want to be there, it wasn't his will to be a husband. It wasn't his will to be a dad. And then
he told
left.
me. He told me about that. He told me that that's what hurt him the most. Is that you helped him back. and then after that, he was like, and then you come down with a bag too.
In the words
So
of
we
my
both
kids,
like,
that was real disrespectful carrying man.
I mean, but you
my
have to do what you have to do though. Let him know.
I wanted to live, like I said, those vows meant something. And also, the respect. And, the other stuff that went through, that's a whole nother story. But just like he left that day, he could have came back whenever. I didn't tell you to leave, so I got to tell you to come
And
back.
see, that's what I'm saying. And I think
you could have came back
people
whenever
be so
you wanted
scared to lose out on something that and really they didn't even appreciate it. Because as I was in another one, which I be trying not to go to, but I guess I just have to because people like, well, why you ain't say that? Keep it in 100. Yes. After that last one, I was in another relationship just before I did end up getting married. And that person, again, tried to become abusive. Why? You know why? I believe, one, I told him that someone else did it.
Mm-hmm.
So that gave him a thing that he felt like he could too. Two, I didn't have no father around. I didn't have no male brother, big uncles, no nothing around. So he felt like he didn't have to see nobody. And he can do whatever he want, and he can, and he came to my house and again tried to get abusive with me because I said, hey, I don't want you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And to make a long story short, he did lose his life that day, and of course it's not something that I wanted or anything like that, but I had to defend myself and protect myself and my family and my children. The last time I had to play dead.
Right.
This time the Lord said, no, it's not finna be you. So it's not my time yet. So I had to protect myself, and I'm not
That's
saying
your house.
Right. I'm not saying that that's okay, because by all means, no. Because I wish that he would have just left, and that's what I think, that people are so afraid to lose something good that they'll just get out their mind and do something that you wouldn't even think that they would do. Because I never would have thought I had to do that on my baby's birthday. The same child I was pregnant with when her daddy tried to kill me. Now somebody else come to me, and on her 7th birthday this happened. So by all means, no, I didn't want any of this to happen. But to hell if I'm going to go.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a tough position to be put in.
Yes, it is.
But I had to save myself and my children because he wasn't thinking about them. You know what I mean? So, that's a tough one to, tough pill for myself to swallow. So, I'm big now on the honesty,
Yes,
those boundaries,
yes.
the communication, and I think that starts with that foundation of being friends. Because if he would have been my friend, he would have known. Don't do this around, don't do this. Cause if you back a line in the corner, you bound to at least get scratched.
Uh-huh.
So we stop putting these women in these positions
Right.
where they feel weak and helpless and they have no other choice. Because we're a lot stronger than you think. Yeah.
My strength is what you love. That's why you got with me. It
Right.
wasn't because I was weak and a nobody and
Right.
a pushover.
Right.
But see, once we got into that relationship, I guess you thought you could change me or something.
Yeah, see, no,
Right.
Nobody's
you can't change
punching
nobody,
back.
people.
No.
So, but
No.
we go change this topic a little bit. We gonna take a quick little break, you know, and come right on back.
Are you a man that has ever been cheated on? Is your communication lacking? Or is your relationship lacking communication? Can you get through it? Tune in to Gifts of Joy Mondays at 7 p.m. on www.e-linetv.com.
Gifts of joy.
Welcome back. That was a little heated one, a little bit. I'm sorry, I had to.
Yeah, I started sweating while y'all was talking, but I'm on the good side now, so
Right. So just a little recap. Today we've been talking about relationships. We've talked about friendships, intimate relationships. We briefly touched on same-sex relationships. Of course, whatever floats your boat, whatever makes you happy, that's what you do. And just be with somebody that loves you. We talked about the family dynamics. We got my mom here with my husband, so that's a whole different, We got his sister.
This my partner. Y'all can say what y'all want. We bump head.
Hey,
I
hey,
win
that's
because
what's
mine's
supposed to
beautiful.
We also had another special guest, Gwen Johnson, who's been married for 44 years. I said 30 plus, which it was 30 plus. I should have said 40 plus, but yeah, 44 years. So that was some great life experience, and I think the secret to success in a marriage that we got from her. So we done talked about cheating, domestic violence.
Hold on, we have
Friendships.
my beautiful little sister here with us today.
Yes, I'm sorry. She's sitting right next to me. I'm looking at her and I ain't even saying
Right.
I'm so sorry, sis.
Right.
I'm sorry, Stephanie Nicole here. Shout out. She gave some real good. She
I
very
gotta
smart.
do it one more time. Mr. Legendary, made by Stephanie Nicole.
Illuminative expressions.
That's right. Illuminative urban expressions, right? Or you took the urban out.
Well, we're that's my DBA.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's still under urban, but to broaden my
Okay.
expansion of my business, I'm just gonna hit it with the urban expressions for business purposes. But when I do like my candles, it'll say illuminative expressions.
Okay.
Can
That's what I'm talking about.
you please let everybody know about the pop-up shop?
Oh
real
yes,
quick?
the pop-up shop is July 10th between 2 and 5. So come and get your candles. They smell amazing. They are handmade by yours truly.
We always have one person here.
I got something for the fellas. I have something for the ladies. You'll love it. We have candles. We have wax melts. I'll be adding other things to my line. Just come and check me out. And I'll be dropping the location on next week.
All right, that's what I'm talking about.
Now you also can come to my house and get Joanne's Junkie Lemonade.
You got junkie
One time you drink it, you're gonna be hooked.
That's what I'm talking about. So, just to get back into it a little bit,
Right.
like you said, what all we've been talking about. Any other things that you think our viewers and listeners need to know as far as relationships? We got into the foundation, setting that good foundation for any relationship. It's not just intimate. Yes, the honesty and communicating.
And just making sure your friends first, making sure the relationship that you're in is beneficial on both sides. Always
And keep it 100 on both sides.
A give and take. Yes, keep it 100 all the time.
And just because, you're in the marriage or in the relationship, you still can be friends.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not mad, with your dad because of, our breakup. because all marriages, you know, it may not meant to be. You know, like I said, it wasn't his will. It may not have been that time, but during that time, I think there's a time to live, there's a time to breathe, there's a time, there's a season for everything.
Yes.
So my season, I feel as if, you know, I gave him some wisdom and knowledge to grow to make the next relationship.
See, I ain't doing that no more. See, that's
You ain't got to. I ain't going nowhere.
And we have people that's online that's saying honesty, communication are
See,
really
my
big
thing-
things in relationships.
I'm done with making someone better for the next person. You know what I mean? You know,
I just had to be honest, you know.
Yeah.
You done that period. What you talking
That's
about?
what I'm saying.
That's right.
You done that period.
But you know, I mean, well, I guess that's why I had, you know, it was time to go and get married because, you know, I'm not making someone else better, you know, better for the next one because that's not fair to me.
Right.
Because then I gotta keep starting over and keep, you know, let me get this one ready. And then what he gonna do? He gonna go over and do the same thing?
Well, I had to look at it as, you know, the positive side. I didn't want to look at the negative.
Yeah.
Because, of course, when I got into that marriage, it was supposed to have been for a lifetime. Those vows meant something.
Right.
But, like I said, it was his will to leave. He could have came back whenever. But I wasn't going to sit around and wait 5 and 10 years while he out there playing around and me pretending to be a wife.
Right.
So
It wasn't
Forever.
your purpose.
Right.
It wasn't your
So
purpose.
there was, you know, a time that I had to say, well, hey, enough's enough. His actions is what I went by, not his word, because he always said, you know, we were going to be. And then if we couldn't, at least be friends.
I like how you said before how you went to a friend and you spoke and you said let his will be done and pretty much you came back that same night and I remember you came back that same night and he left, you know. And I also remember my grandmother saying that she prayed saying remove,
Exactly.
you
That's
know,
what I wanted to get to.
and then he was dead, you know. So you do have
You
to
have
be
to
careful
watch your
what you
words.
say, you know. And that's when how we were saying when you're in a relationship and you keep talking about we gonna get a divorce or we're gonna break up, you keep speaking that, and
Words
that's
are
that's
powerful.
yes, that's what comes up, and that's what ended up happening. So for one, we have to get out of that mind frame of even talking negativity into our relationships.
Right.
Your words is powerful.
Right.
You know,
Very
stop. You know, stop calling people that's not friends your friend because
And
they
telling
just-
them all your business.
right. Keep some things to yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because some people will pray against you, and
Right.
they just because they're not in a relationship, and that goes back to the friendships of relationships. Everybody doesn't want to see you do well.
That's right.
And if you're in a relationship and they may not have a relationship, they want you to be lonely with them.
So you
or
go hook up with them.
It's some people that's like that. Now, I don't have any friends that's like that, so let me just
Right.
keep it 100, baby. So nobody thinks that I'm talking about them. I love my friends. We give each other
Right.
advices. But there are people that don't have your best interest at heart. So if you're going through something, they're going to give you the type of advice as saying you should leave
Right.
and just be in the streets. You know, it's fun outside for a minute, but at night it get real lonely, especially if you don't have anybody to actually have that bond with. You can be outside for a good little minute and then you know you get lonely where you need someone to talk to or a shoulder to cry on, and the streets not gonna get it to you.
It's your not.
Not
Spit
at
you
all.
up, chew you up, spit you out. You know, I like to also say that even with what you were saying, that's very true because, you know, you do, you know, like it do get lonely at night. But even for those that's in an unhealthy relationship, it's best to be lonely.
Best to be lonely
Instead of being in the bed with somebody that's cheating on you, beating you
and
behind.
feeling lonely.
Right. You know, and one thing that I've always said was, if you're not doing anything wrong, I shouldn't feel like you're doing anything wrong. You know, I shouldn't, you know, because we got people that's just insecure.
Right.
But, you know, when he leaves the house, I don't be thinking, oh, he's finna go cheat. Oh, he's out here doing this.
Right.
Even if he told me he's finna be back in 15 minutes, he come back in an hour. My first thought isn't, you know, because I don't feel that way. He don't give me that feeling. He done called me already and said that. He done did that. You know, he done FaceTime me. So I don't feel that way. So, you know what I mean? It's like, if you're not doing it, I shouldn't feel that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I mean, that's big to me. How you make me
Absolutely.
feel, that's big to me.
Absolutely.
You can say
Absolutely.
anything, you know.
Right.
Like they said, whole dreams, tell her what she want to hear. You know, you can do that all day. You know, show me.
It's actions over words.
Yes.
And
Yes.
people,
Yes.
and that's
Yes.
that. As we're talking about relationships, friendships, and siblings, or whatever
Mhm.
the dynamic of the relationship, it's open communication, honesty, loyalty.
Right.
We're gonna say what is
Knowing yourself
knowing yourself first, absolutely, and commitment
and
Um,
respecting
and
boundaries.
respecting boundaries. What else?
It's I mean, it gets deep, you know. But like you said, just keeping it 100 with yourself, being honest with yourself. On like you said, I think you said it earlier, saying on your expectations and even on what you will accept.
Right.
You know, like people will say, "Oh, well, my boyfriend this, or my fiance this, he doing this and he doing that," and I said, "Well, what are you willing to accept? Don't ask me that. What are you willing to accept? See, I don't accept
Knowing
this.
your worth
right
goes a
right.
long way, and
Right.
not just for men, but I mean for women, but for men as
Right.
well.
Right.
'Cause we got
Because
abusive women.
some men will just be with women because the way they look, you
Mhm.
know, or what they can get from them, but they're truly not happy with the
Right.
woman that they're with because they're not satisfying them mentally,
Right.
just the physical, and that gets old.
It
Yeah.
really
That
is.
that gets old.
Yeah.
We all want to feel good, but we also want to be loved in the inside for who we are and not just the outside. So that goes a long way too.
Yes, I like that today. So we're gonna be wrapping it up. So I do like, you know, how it went today, and
Right.
I want to give a special thank you to Stephanie Nicole, to Joanne, JJ Jones, to Gwen Johnson for coming
Right.
here and blessing us with your knowledge and everything. It's greatly appreciated. Next week though, I want y'all to make sure y'all stay tuned, because next week we talking entertainment. And we're gonna have some special guests on as well.
And next week's show is dedicated to one of my brothers. He lost his life last year, and
He was
he
supposed
was
to
big
host our
in the
benefit
entertainment, and he's supposed to host our benefit concert. So we're gonna dedicate next week's show to Diesel, aka
Hell is you
Mr. Hell is you doing?
doing?
We'll see
That's
y'all
my
next
boy
week.
right there. We got what we got. I know we got Trap coming in.
We got Trey, we got Zemo. I think
Chrissy Collins
yeah.
said she was coming.
yeah, Chrissy said she was gonna come through.
We got it's like 2 or 3. Look, we got some guests, you know, that's gonna be here to grace y'all. We even talking about a little rap battle, so you know,
Yeah.
definitely make sure y'all come on up. You know, stay tuned. Like I said, subscribe, and we'll give y'all a little sneak peek again next week. You know, but
All right.
you know, just come back with us and have fun.
It's
we
been a
keep it
pleasure.
100.
I
It's
really
been fun.
enjoyed
It's been a
it. I
pleasure,
really
and I can
thank
say-
you guys.
Keep
Yeah.
God in your life. Let God be in control of every situation, because He has been there with me and mine. And like I said, when that situation happened, I wasn't afraid, because you know I was afraid to go and what I'm saying, I'm trying to lose my train of thought. When I said, you know, Lord, let His will be done, I was afraid to say that, because I knew that I was praying, you know, for a marriage
Because you
and
knew
stuff.
in your heart.
I knew in
You
my
knew in your
heart,
heart.
if I say, Lord, let His
He was
will
on.
be done, His will, He may be done, but you know what the Lord said? I got your back. You ain't
And
got
I'm
to worry
saying-
about it. That's why when I
We
went
say
back,
God, but it's, you know,
Yes.
some people that may be listening may not
It's-
believe in God. They can say the universe.
Yes.
They call Him Allah. You know,
I don't care
my
what you
my
call
saying
him,
is,
call him.
like I said, it don't matter what you call Him as long as you call Him. You know,
Mhm.
you can call Him whatever you
Right.
want. I
Trust
call
in
him. I
him.
call Him a Father God, the Father of Abraham, the Father of Isaac, the Father of Job. That's who my Father God is. You know, whoever yours is, you know, like you said, universe, whoever you go to, you know, medicine, whatever it is, you know, call on them and get that strength from them, you know, because just like, you know, with the alcohol, you know, and drug abuse, you know, they have to realize that there is a higher calling, a higher power. We have to realize that, you know, like she said, know your worth, know
Absolutely.
what you're willing to put up with in any relationship. And yes, you know, it's gonna be fruitful.
His will be done either way.
Yes.
God's will.
God's will.
That's the will.
And
God's
everything that you do, whatever your purpose is for your life, and that's ordained by God, His will be done.
All the time.
See y'all next week, and thanks for tuning in to Keeping It 100 with Money and Mika, and our special guest.